Good evening, everyone. I'm Lisa.
I guess I'm Rodney over here in the background.
I keep wondering if he's just going to automatically say it or if I'm going to have to remind him. That is Rodney. Hey, Rodney, can you get me the, I think there's some sticks, paint stir sticks in the, maybe in the sink.
Maybe if you dry.
Probably. When you hop on, say hello, hello. And if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. This is going to be a quick live. We're not going to do a lot. But I told y'all I would be on sometime today. Thank you. To show you the phone case, which was a fail. I'm going to show you a picture of it, though. I did take a picture of it before I started scraping it all off. So, here is what it looked like. Blah. Hey, Terry. How are you? So.
Hi there. I feel good. Thanks for asking.
Siri thought I said Siri, and I didn't. I said Terry.
Siri says she feels
Okay,
good.
so Terry feels good. That's good to know. All right, so this is what it looked like. Yeah, not impressive. Okay. So I'm gonna keep it in case I need to show it to anybody else what a fail was. But then I did a canvas with a new technique, and we're gonna do one tonight together. I'm gonna show you first what it looked like and how drastically it changed. All right, so I did a pour paint. Does anybody see any image in that pour paint? I didn't see it until after I got through. Hey, Michael Fawcett. Anybody see an image right there? Like maybe a dinosaur head or something with an eye right there. Nostrils right there. Yeah, that wasn't on purpose. That's just an accident. Here's another view of it this way. You see it that way? You see a cow. Okay, good. I'm on a cow roll. Just wait till you see my post tomorrow. All right, so this is what it looked like when the cells began forming on their own before I did any kind of surfactant. Ooh, listen to me using big words my husband taught me. And then when I did, here's another view where you can see cells and you can see lacing right there. I love both of those. And I love pour paints because they all come out different. Couldn't recreate it if I wanted to. Then when I added the silicone, look what happened to that painting. Ah, surprise, surprise, surprise. Isn't that cool? Let me show you another view. And I'm going to show you tonight how I did that. Look at those up close. Isn't that cool? I didn't draw anything separate, any lines or anything. Here's a super up close of the cells. These were just colors that I threw to, well, they're the colors I used on my phone case. But look what a difference it made. Of course, I see a golden retriever puppy. And then I just did this little super zoom in so you can see. But each cell is different, and I just love it. So we're going to do that on a canvas, a small canvas. I did take off all of the paint that I poured on the other night and redid one today, and it's still wet. So I'm not going to hold it too close, but if you can see all the colors in it, there's some cells in it. And look at the back, look at the inside where my phone will be against. See how different it looks? Isn't that neat? And the cool thing about it is, if I don't like it, after I use it a while, I can toss it in the trash can. The case was $3. Hey, Debbie. I see it, Gomer. Debbie Harris said, I see it, Gomer. That sounds like something Rodney Seiler would say. Have y'all been talking? All right, so here's what we're going to do. I've got this canvas. I think this is, what did we say this is, 8 by 8? Maybe 10 by 10. I don't know. Let's see.
That's the little one I had. 8 by 10s.
12. Okay, 8 by 10s. All right, and I just put some big thumbtack or tacks in the bottom of it for legs, because once I get through pour painting it, I need to set it over to the side. Thank you, Michael, and let it do its thing. Now remember what I told you. When you pour it and when you first look at it, it's not going to stay that way. It's going to keep changing for probably a good 20-25 minutes. Okay? So, right here, I have my disposable pan. And see all that dripped off the other night when we were doing the phone case? I also pour off some pieces of the phone case to show you when I talked about skins, and I said you can hang on to the skins. This is a skin that can be used in acrylic paints. It can be used in another paint pour. Look at the back side.
Make your earrings.
Yep. People make jewelry out of them. Here's one that's just got mostly the gold and the gray in it. And then today, when I was pouring my, pouring my phone case again, I took what was left in the cup. Once everything had settled back in the bottom, I took what was in the cup and put it on a piece of wax paper. See it running still? So, you can even see cells in there. So when this dries really well, I can just peel these off and use them in junk journaling. I can use them, like I said, on acrylic paints or whatever. Here, Rodney, you set that to the side. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Most of this I'll have to stand up for, but we are going to do a dirty pour, and then I'm going to show you how I got the cells. And once again, I need to get up and get a cup. I don't have enough room, you guys, by my desk to keep everything I need handy in the bus. But I don't want to go back and forth either. All right, so I've got this clear cup. I'm going to tilt you down a little bit because I'm probably going to be standing up to do this. So let me tilt you down so you'll see this part, okay? And I've got some colors here that I've already pre-mixed. I'm just going to take the tops off and then I'll show them to you and show you the consistency. We talked about consistency the other day when I was doing the phone case the other day. You really want the consistency of maple syrup or warm honey. Most of these are just fluid acrylic folk art paints or deco art paints mixed with Flood Floetrol from Home Depot. I think you can also get it at Lowe's. You can also get it online in Amazon, I think. I don't think I'm going to put any gold in here this time. Okay. Now, I have purple, red, dark blue, yellow, teal, and black. You don't necessarily have to have all those colors. I just do. And then I've got some white. So, I'm going to mix some of these up with the stir stick to show you what kind of consistency you're going for, okay? So, this already has just a white acrylic paint that looks like it's got some chunks in it, which we don't want. Let me wipe that off.
You want a strainer?
Well, I may get some out of that bottle instead of this. Because it's pretty chunky. Let's see if you can take some of that chunk out while I work on one of these. Okay, here's the red. This is Lipstick Red by Folk Art. And you can see the consistency. So it flows off, but when it hits the paint, it mounds and then disappears. That's a really good consistency. Now, depending on what type of paint pour you're doing, sometimes you want your paints a little thicker. Sometimes you even want them a little thinner. But this overall is the consistency that we're going for. All right, let me get this dark blue. Now, this is what I found out about this dark blue. And I think it's navy blue, Folk Art navy blue. It will take over. So I kind of need to mix it sparingly with other colors. It's a little bit thicker than the red, but not a lot. So I'm going to leave it as is. Then I don't have a whole lot of yellow in here, but we'll mix up what we have. Now this is a lot thicker. See, it's not flowing off the stick as well. So I'm going to add a little bit of Floetrol, and I had some in a container right up here. Well, you know, I can't squirt it out of this. I couldn't get the needle out of it, so I just opened it earlier. It's fine. Now, this Floetrol right here, see what it says on it? It says Flood Floetrol decanted. Rodney's going to explain that to you. I'm just putting a little bit in here, but Flood Floetrol, when you look at it, is white. So tell them about this decanting, Rodney.
Well, if you leave things sitting, that's why you have to shake things up, because they settle. So that is a can of Floetrol that had settled out and all the pigments were down toward the bottom. I was doing some special kind of stuff where I needed a clear background. So I poured the, without shaking it up, I poured the clear off the top. And that's called decanting, when you pour something off the top of a solution or mixture like that. And so that's why it's clear. I just use it. It's very similar to regular Floetrol and what it works like, but no pigments.
This is about out of this container, but I needed a little more yellow, and I'm not so sure that it was the same yellow, but it's also coming out kind of lumpy, so I'm going to just throw that away. All right, I'm going to add a little more of the decanted Floetrol, and I can add a little bit of water. Remember, it's easier to keep adding to than it is to take from. If you get it too thin, all you have to do is just add some more paint to it.
If you've got some more.
Yeah, this has got a lump in it of stuff. Let me see if I can find that. If you will keep these paints, once you've mixed them, in airtight containers, they'll last you for a pretty good while. If you leave them open to the air, they won't. So let's check this one. Still a little thick.
This white should be in pretty good shape now. I strained it.
Okay, thank you. Okie doke.
Let's see what you're looking like on here.
Much, much better. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to set that decanted stuff over there so I won't knock it over. It's a good thing I'm getting my nails done tomorrow, y'all. They look awful. I've lost 2 of them and everything. Okay, so here we go.
Terry from Arizona's on, and I asked her how to pronounce her name. It's Sasafoulis.
What is it?
Sasafoulis. Sasafoulis.
Cool. What is the origin?
Arizona.
No, that's not where
She's
her...
from the country of Arizona.
All right, here's the purple. I know it looks like blue, but that's where I used it on blue before it was dried up. Perfect on the purple. I think I'm not going to add black because the black will take over.
Hey, Shelly.
Hey, Shelly. All right, so here's what I'm going to do, you guys. I'm going to take my cup. The first thing that I put in will be the last thing to come out on the canvas. So I want to make sure that I like what's going to come out on the canvas.
It's Greek to me.
Greek. There you go. All right, so all I'm doing...
Hello, Lori. Welcome to our page. Thanks for following.
Thank you for following and being on here. I'm going to add some red. We know what's going to happen when that red and yellow mix, right?
Hello, Rodney.
Then I think I'll take just a smidge of the dark blue. I don't want too much because it is powerful. This is one of my favorite colors. I'm a teal person. I'm really a blue person, but I love teal. Put a little purple. And I'm pouring from up high, if you notice. What that's doing is allowing the paint to sink down in there a little bit. That's just one technique. Where'd you put the white? Right here?
In a cup.
In this
now.
cup?
Yeah.
Okay. A little bit of white. And then let's start over. Put some yellow. It's got some lumps in it. Red. A little bit of dark blue.
And depending on the kind of pour you're trying to do, sometimes you don't want them to go down and sink through each other. Sometimes you want to layer them on top of each other.
Can you see cells in there already? See how the cells have started to form? About out of that teal, so I'll use it up.
Carol Stinson's a fan of teal.
Me too, girl. Turquoise and teal are me for show. A little more white. It's getting some good lacing and cells in there already, guys, and we hadn't even poured it yet. And all this is paint and Floetrol. Now, some people at this stage would go on and add some silicone, some straight dimethicone in here. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to drop silicone in it after I get the paint poured. What? You're going to drop silicone in it? Yes, I am. Have you lost your mind? Maybe so. I think I'll use... Do I have any of this? I have a little teal left. We'll just put it in there.
I think it's a good thing you got a small canvas.
It is a good thing.
Is it already painted?
Okay. Nope.
You're not going to base coat it?
I'm going to put some white on it when it's time.
What do you call that?
Pillow.
A pillow. There you go. Here comes the hearts.
Pillow pour. Thank you for those hearts.
I bet that's Shelly. He's the heart person.
All right. Do I have some? Yeah, so there's some white in here. All right. Now, sometimes people will, when they start to pour their paints in, they'll be very careful and very deliberate and pour from like the side. Tilt it a little bit and just let it gently run down the side so that they don't mix as much. Look at all of the cells already in there. Amazing. All right. So let me stand up. Put my canvas right here. Get my gloves on. You guys, this is messy, messy, messy. But it's so much fun.
That's why you got the cooking pan underneath it?
Yep, I've already told them about that.
Apparently I wasn't listening. Terry loves the colors too.
Well, I can't get that open. Let me see if I can get another.
Throw it at me, man.
Get another glove here. All right, I'll just use this one. And I should have an apron on, but you know what? Nothing I have on will matter if it gets paint on it. And hopefully I can be neat enough not to get paint on it. All right, one.
The surgeon is ready.
And two. I'm ready for surgery. Who's ready to be operated on?
Not me.
You want to put these in water for me, please?
The empty container.
The green, the yellow, and the teal. All right. So now I have in this container Benjamin Moore pillow paint. We call it pillow. Premium eggshell interior paint and primer. Okay. And I gave the ratios and everything. Y'all, this has been around for a long time since we started doing pours. So I hope it's not too lumpy. A pillow is what you put down first just to have something for your paint to flow over. Let's see if we can manage to get some out here that's not too, oops, I see the would be gloppy coming out already.
Want me to strain you some?
I may have to, I don't know. It's coming out, turned it over and it's coming out pretty good right now. So let me just put this on here. Get a good amount on here. Because when we start tilting this to stretch the cells, we want something for our paint that we pour on top of this that we just mix to be able to flow from. Okay? So let me just take this and kind of tilt it a little bit and get this white to flow. It's pretty thick. And it's got a lot of bubbles in it, so I'm going to torch the bubbles out before I put my cup on there of paint. Y'all see it flowing down? Yep, you can. Let me add a little bit more right here. Now that'll make it easier. You can get really addicted to this stuff, you guys, because it's just so fun to watch it do its thing. You don't ever know what's going to happen. And even if you think you have a plan in your mind, guess what? That paint may not do the same plan that you have. I would advise, if y'all do this, to make sure that your pillow is a little bit thinner. This is pretty thick.
And you can thin it with Floetrol.
Yeah. And I want to make sure too that when I stretch my paint, I want the cells to come over the sides. I want it to really flow well. You stand up and get it out. So if I get the sides with the white, then that means that the other colors, when we stretch them out, will more easily go down on the sides, because you want your painting to look finished.
Hello,
sometimes
Mama.
People will frame these, and sometimes they won't. They'll just leave them and hang them as is. So that's why you want your sides to look just as good as your top. Okay? Can you hand me a paper towel, please, and let me wipe these hands off?
Start with that one.
I got some right here on the end of the table. Okay, so let me take my little torch. Can you hand me the big torch? I've got my little one out here to do the other part, but
Stand back. She got the big torch.
when you have the big torch, any torch, when you're doing this, you want to keep it moving.
And the acrylic paints are not flammable, so you don't have to worry about them flashing up in your face. But I think oil paints might be a different story.
Okay, there's a ton of bubbles in here, so a lot of them will go off though when we start tilting. Okie doke. So now here's my paint. Look at all the cells. Look at all the lacing in there. Isn't that so pretty? Y'all couldn't even see it.
Remove it. Yeah, there we go.
All right. So this is called a flip cup. Now I could, and I think I actually will. Here's what I'm going to do.
Oh.
I'm going to put this on top, and then I'm going to flip it over. And I'm just going to let it sit for a minute and let all of the paint that's in there run down before we start doing anything to it.
And sometimes people poke a hole in the bottom, or they put a hole in to start with, and they take their finger off of it.
Yeah.
And that
Or
lets
they
the
come
paint,
back and poke a hole too.
you know, the paint will start running out underneath the edge of the cup.
I don't want this to get all over my new table. That's why I was trying to move it to the side. Okay. So here we go. You ready? Ooh, look at those cells. Y'all see? Yep, you can. And as it sits here, more and more cells will come to the top. Now look. Okay. Now I'm going to take my little torch and just try to torch out a few of these bubbles in here. Come on. I think I need to add some juice to this one.
Debbie said those colors are great.
Thank you.
Debbie Harris.
Okay, so you can see
Deborah
some of the
Jed's
color
on.
coming through. Hey, Sister Deborah. All right, look at this little, can y'all see this right here? I wish I could, I need to try to zoom in a little bit, I think. There we go. There's a little zoom.
Does it zoom?
Okay, yeah.
With rubber gloves?
Can you tilt it down a little
Sure.
bit more now? Now they can see better.
Right out. If you'll
Down. And then turn this way a little bit. There you go. Okay, let me stand back up. I'm going to pick up my canvas.
It looks like a brain.
And I'm just going to gently start moving the paint around, trying to remember to bring it back to the center every direction I go before I go into another direction.
I'm here tilting my phone.
I don't think that's going to help me any.
Shelly says, so very cool.
I hope the next part works. That's what's so really cool.
There's another part?
We talked about it already. Where have you been? Are you not paying attention to me?
Something about dripping silicone on it?
Okay. I'm not sure this thing is too level. Alrighty. So can y'all still see that? Yes, you can. I'll let it rest for just a minute. And my toothpick seems to have disappeared.
Here's another one. Or it's the same one.
All right, so you see right here, we have cells popping up. We've not put any silicone in it at all. Just Floetrol and paint. I don't like this white down here. I'm going to tilt it a little bit more right here. Come on, flow for me. Okay. Now we're going to come back so we'll have more of a even. Oh, it looks so pretty on the sides too. And if it doesn't get enough down on the sides, you can go back and tap it with your finger. You can also pick up some that's fallen off into your container below and bring it up here and just make sure that you've got it all covered really, really well. Okay? All right, now, in a perfect world, what's going to happen is when I drop this silicone in there in little drops, the colors that are underneath, what you see right here, are going to start coming up through that silicone. It will continue to change. Like if I decided I loved it just like this, too bad. I'm not going to stay like this. Rodney, can you take a picture real quick on your phone?
Yeah.
So we can do a before and after. Do I need to turn the light off? It's got so much glare.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Are y'all ready? Throw me some hearts if you're ready. I've got a toothpick and I've got the silicone right here. Let me stand up again. And I'm going to try to just drop little drops of silicone, barely touching, down in the paint. And I'm going to kind of make a little circle, or a, what do you call it? The circle that goes round and round. Huh? A spiral. Yeah, a spiral. And I can't always see where I've been, so I'm just having to kind of wing it. That one doesn't have much in it. Now you should be able to see, looking down on this, where some of these are already changing right here. And I'm only dipping it every 6 or 7 times. Last night I was experimenting using a toothbrush with the dimethicone on it, and then just scraping my finger across the toothbrush and letting the drops fall where they may instead of staying in a pattern. But what's so fascinating about this to me is how the patterns come up within the cells, and you have no earthly idea what you're going to get until it does its thing. These are a lot of fun. It'd be great gifts. You could even use this as a backdrop. Almost like an underpainting I do in watercolor. You could use this as an underpainting and then put some mixed media on top of it, which would be fun. Try not to put them too close because they're going to continue spreading, and like that one was a real big one, so they're going to spread and kind of run into each other. But I think it's so cool how they make a line between them, and I didn't do anything to make that happen. It just does it on its own. Can y'all see that purple and yellow with the colors coming up? That is so cool. Now, if there isn't color, like right here where it's so white, if there's no color down there, then no color is going to come up.
Terry says it looks great so far.
Thank you. And of course, you know, when we're done, and after it's cured for probably about 48 hours, then we're going to have a lot of silicone on here. And you don't want to give it to somebody or hang it up with a bunch of silicone on it. So you can either take some kitchen wipes and wipe off the surface once it's totally dry. You can take baby powder. You can take flour and sprinkle on here to absorb all the silicone. And then take like a fan brush or a big brush like this and just make sure you wipe it off real well. You can use a top coat, a sealer, clear sealer if you want to. I don't usually on my pour paints. I can't even really see where all my dots were, so these are not doing as uniform as the other one I did on that other paint that I showed y'all. Can you take another picture, please? Thank you, Terry. See how this one right here, can y'all see that one? It's got yellow, pink, blue. This one's got purple, yellow, green. I love it. I think if my white paint underneath hadn't been so thick, it might have flowed a little better. But it's okay. You live and you learn. I'm trying to find something. I'll just use this toothpick. You can also go in if there's areas you don't like. Like I don't love this big, y'all can't see it, this big white area down here.
I got it.
Okay. So I want to try to pull some of this paint down in there and just make some little curly cues. This gives it a little different interest. Looks almost like flames going up. The other fun thing about this is once it totally dries, you can turn it all directions to see how you think it would best be hung if you're going to put a hanger on it. If you're giving it as a gift, you might want to let the other person decide that. But if you're going to hang it, you need to know where you want your hanger to go.
Hello, Jennifer.
So let me pick this up. I want y'all to see the sides. Okay, can you see the sides right there? Tilt it back a little bit. There you go. Okay, see how it came down over the sides? You turn it this way. See? It even has cells on the sides. I think this side over here may be the prettiest. Let me turn it. Now, what a lot of people do, I did not do this. I should have. But what a lot of people do, let me move this real quick. I'm going to go set it over here on a piece of plastic that I've got ready for it. Take a picture, please, so we can see how it changes. What a lot of people do is take painter's tape, turn your canvas upside down, and put painter's tape all around the edges. Good grief, that is so close. Oh gosh, y'all, you're really close now. Hold on.
I got your light on too.
Uh-oh.
Tell Siri to turn it off.
Hey Siri, turn my flashlight off. She's not answering.
Flashlight is already turned off.
She's talking to you. Sorry, y'all. Hold on.
We got a few extra
You're supposed to be able to
It's off now.
3 fingers swipe it. It's not zoomed out. It's zoomed so in you can't do anything.
That's back home again.
Now turn the camera. Sorry, y'all. I'm technologically challenged. I can't get it to zoom out.
Maybe you got too much paint on your fingers.
It's not paint. You're supposed to be able to swipe with 3. It's crazy. Y'all, I'm right here. I see my floor on the camera.